Welcome back, everyone. Well, if you're looking for an inspirational story midweek on this Wednesday, we have it for you right here. I have Matthew Brewster here with me. You might be familiar with Matthew's story. Matthew's from South Bend native. Now you live in Chicago, but you have overcome a lot in your life.
Yeah.
And now you've written 2 books, inspiring others. But let's back up to the beginning with what happened around 2012, you said?
Yeah, end of 2012, I had a massive brain bleed due to no fault of my own. Completely random, and no one understands that, but I had about a 3-month-long coma, and then I spent another 3 months in intensive inpatient rehab at the RC in Chicago, now known as Shirley Ryan. Amazing hospital. After that, as I'm progressing through regaining all these abilities, I kept a diary due to a psychiatrist who told me that I should keep a diary. And then during COVID, I'm living in a house with 5 other people, and it stunk, and so I would just go up to my attic and translate this diary into an actual book, and that's the first one. It's an 18-chapter book. It ranges from rolling die in a board game, which was labeled impossible by my godmother, to walking, which was labeled impossible by my main neurosurgeon, probably the best neurosurgeon ever. He has since retired, so I can say that. But the second book is called All the Times My Parents Tried to Kill Me, and it is a joke, and I will spoil it. In the first page of the book, I reattribute the fault of trying to kill me to myself, because my parents take me on amazing hikes all over the world, and they all go horribly wrong, just horribly wrong. And I have scars to prove it. Stinks, but yeah, so those are my 2 books.
So you were a high school student, a really talented fencer. This happened, and you had to relearn so many basic skills, right? I mean, can you...
Everything.
Yeah.
So post-injury, I was reduced legitimately to less than a newborn child. Think about the majority of babies that come out, they're crying. I could not physically make noise. I had to relearn how to make noise, and then on top of that, walking, finger strength, and everything that comes from that. I had to relearn all of it, and then, like as you mentioned, the coaches at Notre Dame are 2 very good friends of mine for fencing, and they were my coaches. Still are, honestly, but I don't compete anymore. But yeah, I had to relearn everything. I took a year off of high school, which I love saying this. I graduated to high school in 5 years, college in 4, and which is true. But
you have to be an incredibly strong person, Matthew, to be where you are today, to have this happen to you and to push through and not, say poor me, right? You said, I have a life I'm going to live, and I'm going to get better, and I'm going to relearn these skills, and that is so inspiring.
Yeah, it comes down to, for me, the alternative. So the alternative would be, not only like the likely scenario of not breathing, but almost a guaranteed scenario of living in a bed, having everyone do everything for me, and I didn't like that idea. I had fantastic support staff all over the place that kept pushing me forward, and I relearned legitimately everything, which is just kind of insane. So going back to that strong person, yeah, like I don't disagree that most people wouldn't be able to do it. But
absolutely. And you're speaking to schools now, you're speaking to kids,
yes,
sharing your message. And what are you hoping that those students walk away with when you speak to them?
When I speak to them, absolutely just inspired. I spoke about resilience at a school in Florida, actually Slamma Beach, so it's the one that Pitbull owns, which was pretty cool. I was like, that's awesome. But I spoke there about resilience, about the idea of like never giving up, and so yeah, when I speak to students, that's the goal.
That's amazing.
Just inspire them to never go up.
You are the perfect example of that. Both of the books that you've authored are available on Amazon. Let's pull up that QR code, because if people want to purchase that book, this QR code, if you pull out your smartphone, that'll take you directly to Amazon to purchase Matthew's book. But Matthew, thank you so much for coming in, and I mean, truly is just an incredible story, and
Thank you.
I think we can all learn a lot from you.
One can hope, right? I'd like to view myself as like a professor. Not quite, but.
I love it. Well, thank you again, Matthew. We'll have a link to the Amazon site as well if you missed that QR code. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.